Quick shout out to my patrons. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey y'all, it's Kay from the Literary Apothecary, and today we're going to do the, the May wrap-up and my June TBR. Now bear with me because there's a lot here to talk about, because in May, I finished 12 books. Don't ask me how I did it. A lot of them were ebooks that I read at work because it's been kind of a quiet period. But lo and behold, I finished 12 books. I had 2 3 stars, 4 4 stars, 3 4.5 stars, and 3 5 stars. So a really, really great month. Let's just go through it really quickly. The books that I read: Blood Curse by Tamara Lowry, which was one of my self-pub books from February. The Passengers, which was a patron picked by Patrick. I believe that was from March. Disney at Dawn, Kingdom Keepers #2. Voyager the Dawn Treader, one of the Narnia books. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, which was my May patron pick of the month, picked by Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative. The Secret Life of Bees and The Collected Schizophrenias were 2 books that I read for the Mental Health Awareness Month. Live stream that I did with Fine and RJ Barker. And there was one last thing. So I did a whole review on the Collected Schizophrenias, but while I have it on my mind, there was one last thing that I wanted to bring to attention that I learned from this book of essays. And so, from the Collected Schizophrenias, from the essay On the Ward, Wang writes, according to the Department of Justice, nearly 1.3 million people with mental illness are incarcerated in state and federal jails and prisons. And that is just both mind-boggling and heartbreaking. Yeah, that is just, that's unfathomable. And the other thing from L'Appel du Vide is, according to most insurance companies, mental illness is the same as a mental nervous condition or a disability for only 24 months. So even if you have this for life, you can only claim it on your insurance for 24 months as a disability, which is just unfathomable. Again, crazy. One last quote said from the S.H. Mayo, hope is a cast line in search of a fish. Faith is the belief that you won't starve to death, or that if you do, God's plan could account for the tragedy. And that, I feel like, sums up her entire book. So that was the Collected Schizophrenias. Now back to my wrap-up. The Year Before the End, which was a self-pub book I read for May. Seventh Cadence, which was a self-pub book I was supposed to read back in, I think, March, by Jill Wilborn, and I'll be doing a live show with him on this soon. I can't wait, and holy cow, y'all, this book is one of my favorite books I read this month. I also finished The Silver Chair and The Final Battle, which are the last 2 books in the Chronicles of Narnia series, and Kingdom Keepers #3, Disney in Shadows. So I know I've got books 4 and 5 coming up, and then somehow, because the library doesn't have them, we'll have to get books 1 and 6 so I can read those. That's my wrap up for May. 12 books, like I said, a whole bunch of great reads. My favorite book I read this month was The Seventh Cadence by Jim Wilborn. That book was so good. It was so good. I can't wait to talk to him about it so y'all can see it. And my favorite moment from May would be our mental health live show with Josephine and RJ Gibson. It was so much fun. It's so important to have, and I'm so glad that Fine asked me to be part of that show. So thank you, Fine. And if y'all didn't get a chance to watch that, I will put the link down below in the description so you can go watch the playback of that live show. Now, let's talk about June. So, I think it was 3 weeks ago, I put out a June TBR based on the Shelf Space Readathon, Magical Creatures Readathon. That has stayed, but of course, you know me, in addition to that, I've also got some more books on my TBR. So we're going to talk about my June TBR. I'm calling it the June books that I might read this month. So I will also mention the prompt for the read along that I'll be reading it with, and I'll put our bingo card up there so y'all can see it. If you want to join the readathon for Shelf Space, there's still plenty of time. There's no strict deadline. Just come and join when you want. I will put the Shelf Space link down below also. So we've got Faulkner by Mary Shelley, which is my Chimera prompt because it's kind of mixed genres. We've got the Moomin books by Tove Johnson, which is my patron pick of the month with Stacy, and also my Leprechaun prompt for less than 300 books, or less than 300 pages. We've got Lancelot by Giles Christian, which is my unicorn pick, because I'm assuming that between Merlin and Knights and Battles, there will be some kind of healing or doctor in this book. Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck is my Cyclops book, which is a standalone prompt. The Holy Grail is my Dire Wolf prompt because I've been told by the author that it has multiple point of views. The Ninth Reign is Cerebrus, which is part of a trilogy. This is the first book in that trilogy. Game of Kings is my dragon prompt because it has fire on the cover. Flowers in the Attic, which is part of my books my boyfriend gave me series, is going to be my Kraken prompt because this book is intimidating to me because John, my boyfriend, says that this was, from what he remembers, one of his mom's favorite books when he was growing up, and he's requested me to do a reading vlog of this to send to his mom. And that will essentially be my first introduction to his mom. So that's really, really intimidating to me. And if you all want to see that reading vlog, come join my Patreon because I'll also put it there for y'all. And then my last prompt for the readathon is Play It As It Lays by Joan Didion, which is my Hydra prompt because it has a snake on the cover. And then the other books that I will hope to be getting to include The Last Man by Mary Shelley, Dracula, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Sunreach by Brandon Sanderson, A Bad Business by Fyodor Dostoevsky, which is, I'm actually going to be a co-host for a read-along over on the Codex Cantina's Discord, which I'll also link down below. I am super, super excited for this. Ain't no party like a Russian lit party, and some of my favorite people are going to be co-hosts, like Chrissy Lewis Dostoevsky in space, Stephanie at Miss Richards Reads, Evie, She Was Only Evie, and Tiffany. I am so excited to be reading this book with y'all. You know I love some Dostoevsky, so I can't wait. And then also, of course, my carryover books are Fortunes of Perkin Warbeck, which I'm about halfway through now, and Seven Parallels, which is part of the book tour that I'll be doing later this month. At the end of June, you'll get a review on this science fiction book from me. I think it's June 26th is my date. This is a book tour held by Eric at Breakeven Books, and I'm super, super excited. So that's my May wrap-up, my June TBR. Let me know, y'all, what was your favorite book you read in May? What's your favorite book moment in May? June, what are you looking forward to reading in June? And are you going to be participating in the Shelf Space Readathon? If so, which of the prompts are you looking forward to the most? As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below, as well as all of the links that I talked about here, including the Discord invites and links to different shows. They will all be down in the description below too. keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.